Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday. This is your girl, Love Wisdom, live from home. Remember, you have the winning hand, play it accordingly. If you're thinking of a master plan, never tell people your blueprint, always show them your results. I want to send a special happy birthday to all of the Aries. May your birthdays this year be as fruitful and blessed as it was last year. A huge congratulations to all of the expecting mothers. It is my prayer that you have a safe and healthy delivery, and my sincere condolences to those who have lost loved ones thus far. It's been a while. I hope all is well with everyone. I have a special message for men and women. The dating scene is in hell, and I would like for it to get back to heaven. I would love to go back to the time where there was true courtship. People were truly interested in each other. They were honest. They were consistent. They took the time to get to know each other. I truly hope one of these days we'll get back to that, where women were not afraid to express what they want without fear of rejection, where men can just be themselves without fear of rejection, where everyone made their intentions clear so that there is no confusion. I hope one of these days we'll get back to that. However, in the meantime, the dating scene is in hell. It is a landfill where everyone is trying to find someone salvageable without vomiting in the process. You can't put sugar on shit and say that's chocolate. You can't piss on me and call it rain. We've been lied to by both men and women. Dating coaches, relationship experts, femininity coaches, game coaches, exploiting people's insecurities, all the while projecting their own onto you, creating packages where you spend unnecessary amounts of money for stuff that you should have known via common sense. What you should have known if you actually went to a therapist. Let me start with the ladies, since I'm a chivalrous person. Ladies, we're all pick-me's. There is no delineation. There's no separation. We're all pick-me's. No, this is not a reach. Because in order for you to heal, you have to understand who you truly are at your core. We're all pick-me's. Now, whether society has taught us to be this way, the women in our family, the women in our neighborhoods have taught us to be this way. We've all been programmed to show up for men, right? We've been told to stand by your man. If you want a man, you got to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And hopefully he does HIJKLMONP. If we put makeup on our face and straighten our hair, if we wear corsets and heels and be a girl's girl, we can somehow get the guy. You know, if we didn't go to Applebee's and we went to Ruth Chris or Papa Do's, we can get a guy. If we wore luxury clothes and bags, instead of the old Just Fab and Payless when it was in existence, we'll get the man. We've been taught how to speak this way and act this way and walk this way and a man likes this and a man likes that, and we spent money buying books and programs and attending forums and seminars on how to get the man. They said if you act like a bitch, you'll get a man. They said if you act like a girl, you'll get a man. You can't be too feminine, but you can't be too masculine. Men like balance. We've been playing mental, emotional, and even spiritual ping pong, trying to get the man. Until one day, when we take the makeup off, throw that raggedy ass lace front in the trash, take off the Wonder Bras and the Spanx, and stop destroying our feet with them 5-inch heels. And when we really look in the mirror, we say, there's nothing wrong with me. I like me just the way that I am. And you start to walk in that. And you start to be in that. And guess what happens? You meet a guy who likes you for you, not all the aesthetic bullshit that you was taught to put on. Suddenly, when you look at these femininity coaches and these life coaches, you realize you've been fed bullshit. Because while they make fun of women for being pick-me's, they refuse to turn the mirror onto themselves, that they're doing the exact same thing to get a man, but they're judging you for less. Oh yes. You're a pick-me if you want a coffee date. You're a pick-me if you want to walk in the park. But yet they are a pick-me for $200 to $900 dinners. And a cheap fuck at a hotel just to say they had an experience. No, you're a pick-me because you don't want to wear makeup because you want your skin to breathe and you actually like how the sun hits that complexion just right. Meanwhile, they're walking around looking like they have jaundice because the face is not matching the neck. A lace front that keeps on lifting. You know, because if you wear makeup, you will attract men. It appears to me that if you wear a certain type of makeup, you attract a certain type of man. And dare I say, some of these same women are out here looking like transsexuals, which makes it very confusing for men to tell whether you are a man or a woman. Seriously. You're calling women pick-me's for doing the same exact thing you're doing for less. Oh, high value men don't like natural hair. As if women are not being made fun of for the lack of edges in the hairline they got for wearing what? Weave. And what? Relaxers that are now coming out to be cancerous. So this whole thing of contorting ourselves to appease men has cost us very, very dearly. And when these women have realized they're at the end of the line because, you know, women are freeing themselves from this societal expectations, now these women say, oh, we're decentering men. All the while centering them at the same time. So now your advice falls on deaf ears. Now you have to create a new grift. We don't like men. We're decentering men. Men ain't about this. Men ain't about that. Don't date broke men. Don't do this. Don't do that. But 4 + 4 is Jello. Decenter men while centering men the whole entire time. Because single women keep you single, ladies. Because single women are in competition with who? You. That's why they're pick-me's, and so are the rest of us. Even if you don't want to be dragged into this ridiculous hamster wheel of beauty standards, you're always inadvertently dragged in it. I am a pick me. I pick myself every single day. Yes, I am a pick me. I pick me. I love men. I think men are great. Men are awesome. But then you have men that's not worth the shit out of a dog's ass. Yes, I said that right. There's some men, they're not worth the shit out of a dog's ass. But I can't crucify an entire gender based on the actions of a few. So I pick myself every day. I choose me every single day because I found out the open secret about men that has saved me a hell of heartache. A man either likes you or he doesn't. There's nothing you can do to make him change his opinion and view of you. Yes, there is a such thing as first impression. If a man likes you, his actions will mirror that. If he doesn't like you, his actions will mirror that. And I find out that men will like you a hell of a lot more if you just be yourself. It's either he'll accept you or he doesn't. And at the end of the day, it doesn't have shit to do with you. Because when you choose you over everything and everyone else, that's where life truly matters. No disrespect to the femininity coaches, but respectfully, fuck you and your advice. Not to say I've taken any of it. I've listened to them and I see what it has done to the women that does. A lot of you are insecure and you project your insecurities onto other people. You are in competition with other women because at the end of the day, you want to be picked by the man you truly want. But here's a sidebar. You like Tyrone. You like Glocktavius. You like the men, like I said again, that ain't worth the shit out of a dog's ass. But you want to change those men. Or at the very least, you want to troll these men. You want to change them into Poindexter. You want to change them into stand out men. And then you'll troll them to say, hey, I'm dating this guy, I'm dating that guy. See how they're so much better than Tyrone, as if that other man doesn't see right straight through your insecure, duck-headed ass. And then you get played. And now all men ain't shit. Where at the end of the day, you're mad because you fucking lost. No amount of good looks, banging body, good cooking, good head, good sex is going to make a man like you, going to make a man fuck with you. It's not going to change a man because a man has to change himself. A man won't even change for his kids. He has to change because he wants to change. There's nothing you can say or do that's going to make him change. And until you get real with that, you're going to continue to lie to other women. That is why on the women's side of the fence, the dating scene is in fucking hell. Now let me go to the men. Excuse me. The reason why the dating scene is in hell for you guys, because it is a mental and it's an emotional struggle with you. Unlike women who were taught to show up for men, y'all were just taught to show up. And because women guide you by the hand, and she had to play your wife, your girlfriend, your therapist, and your mama, you never had the opportunity to stand in and show up like you're supposed to. As long as everyone takes care of your mental and your emotional needs, you can't hold yourself accountable for the destruction you've caused. So a woman just has to take me from my deception, my insecurity, my bullshit, my inconsistency, she has to take all that because that's just the way I am. That's just the way I am. You refuse to conquer yourself and bring closure to some of the things that you dealt with, and you put all women under a microscope based on some shit that you need to fix. So you have unrealistic expectations of what a woman should look like. You want to change the Strags, the 304s, the multiple children by multiple men, the Section 8 duckhead women who fight all day with bodies looking like a Chipotle bag. Build the bodies. You want those women to be Myra Milhouse. You want to change them into the women you actually want. In layman's terms, you want to ripen the low-hanging fruit. You can't ripe rotted fruit, fellas. You create the environment that you now complain about because you don't want to invest in yourself so you can get the woman that you actually want. And because you two have low self-esteem, and some of you are too lazy to put in the work to be better men, you only deal with the low-hanging fruit. And you want her to change. Any woman that changes for a man is a woman you need to avoid because everything she does is going to evolve around you. And while you think that's cute, that's very dangerous, fellas, down the road. Because she's contorting herself to being the woman, the fantasy. And when that reality hits, that woman go crazy. Y'all ever seen A Thin Line Between Love and Hate with Martin Lawrence and Lynn Whitfield? Y'all ever seen Fatal Attraction? You ever seen The Crush with Alicia Silverstone and Carrie Always? Yeah, that happens when a woman bases her whole life around you and you think that's cute because you're too lazy and too selfish to change for yourself so that you can get the woman that you really want. That's why the dating scene is in hell for you. And the women that you can be compatible with, she has already conquered herself and she sees you a mile away and she avoids you like the plague, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. She runs away from you because at the end of the day, she does not want to be triggered. And now you have marathon live streams about how women are this and women are that. Where at the end of the day, it is you. You create the single mothers that you complain about because you have no dick control. And some of you, dare I go there, Some of you have issues with your sexuality. You want to have the best of both worlds. And while that in theory is not an issue, the reality is a lot of you are not honest. If you're bisexual, you're bisexual. If you're honest about it, you might get a woman who's down for that. Right? But instead, you lie. And because you lie, you cause more harm than good. You have to be honest with yourself. When you're honest with yourself, you make better decisions. You want a woman to respect you. You want a woman to love you. You want a woman to support you. You have to put that in yourself first. A lot of you want the finished product of someone, but you don't want to go through that process for yourself. And you listen to men who have failed in life give you advice so that you can fail. If these men don't have a good track record of being in a successful relationship or marriage, what kind of dating advice can they give you? Notice that the dating coaches only teach y'all how to fuck women, not to settle down, not to be good men, but just how to fuck everything you see. You don't need them for that. You can do that on your own. And then you say, oh, men are not meant to be monogamous. Bullshit. If you want to stay, you would stay. But again, society teaches you to just show up with all of your bullshit. And you think people got to deal with that shit. No, they don't. You got to fix you. You have unrealistic expectations of women because, some of y'all don't like women. That's why you have unrealistic expectations. Let me give y'all a good rule of thumb on women, fellas. If you're honest with women, if you show up, if you're consistent, that's all that matters. When it comes to the money, let's just keep this a stack. If it was really about the money, a lot of y'all would not get women at all if it was about the money. If we're really going to talk about it, if it was really about the money, a lot of y'all would not get picked at all. That's why the simping tree is so damn high. All of you are simps. All of you are simps. You will drag another man for buying flowers for his woman, loving his woman, treating his woman well. You call him a simp, but you will simp for the same thing with an IG baddie with a 30-inch bust down with a Build-A-Bear body. You'll simp for that. You'll simp for a woman who don't like you, but you will drag another man for being a simp for less? For being a simp for someone that cares about him and vice versa, but you are simping for a woman who wouldn't care if you pissed, shit, or die. Which I've come to the conclusion that some of you, the only way for you to feel like you're being loved is if a woman is disrespectful. Y'all will simp for the most disrespectful women on this planet. She will call you everything but a child of God, and you will chase this woman down. You will simp for this woman. But a woman who really cares about y'all and is there for y'all, y'all treat her like shit. And then turn around and say, there's no good women out here. What do you mean? There's plenty of good women out here. You don't like them. You like the bitches. And then you want the bitches to be Myra Milhouse. See, that's what y'all really want. So the dating bar is in hell for both men and women. Because truly at the end of the day, y'all have never known what love and respect really is. Y'all listen to people who can't tell nobody shit about nothing. Single people keep you single. You want relationship advice? Go listen to married people who've been married for 10 years plus. I don't get no advice from people who in their honeymoon phase. 10 years plus, you've been in the trenches. I get my advice from you. I don't get my advice from single people. Y'all are getting y'all advice. Now I'm talking about men and women. Y'all are getting advice from people who are keeping y'all single. Y'all are getting advice from people that's going to keep y'all miserable for the rest of y'all life. And in order for the dating scene to get out of this landfill, y'all got to stop listening to people who can't tell y'all shit. A lot of y'all need to go to therapy and heal these abandonment wounds, whether it comes from your daddy or your mama. Some of y'all need to figure out what your attachment styles are in love. Because some of y'all are avoidance. You want intimacy, but because of that trauma that you had as a child, that feeling of rejection, right? I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't get myself close. Some of y'all have anxious attachments. Because of your rejection, you cling and you hold on to people because you are in fear of them walking away from you because you had a parent that did it to you. These are things that follow you as adults. This is why these expectations are unrealistic. This is why y'all listen to people who give y'all fucked up advice on purpose because it's familiar to you. It's comfortable for you. And y'all go for the low-hanging fruit and you're trying to ripen the low-hanging fruit. You're trying to ripen rotted fruit. You can't do that. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You want to be better? As the saying goes, you got to do better. You want to stop running into these types of people? You got to choose you. Fellas, you got to choose you. Invest in you. Work on those issues that y'all have. You want a woman to show up, but you don't want to show up. You want to show up with your bullshit and expect a woman to unpack that. She's not your therapist. She's not your mother. You are not her project. You don't get to make her no starter kit chick because you don't want to show up the way you supposed to. No, 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 no. Fix you first. Ladies, I say the same thing to you. Fix yourself first. Pick you. Ain't nothing wrong being to pick me. Choose yourself. That is the difference between someone who is healed versus unhealed. They choose themselves. Look at it this way. For those of you who ever took accounting in high school or in college like I did, there's a simple equation that I use to this day. Assets equals liability plus owner's equity. Let me say it again because I want this to marinate with y'all. This is a long commentary, but it's worth it. Assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. Your owner's equity is your self-worth. Okay? Liabilities is what you owe. Liabilities are people who take. They take. You will be in the red if you deal with the liability. They like to be served, but they don't like to serve. And then you have your assets. Your assets is what's coming in. Assets is what you have. So someone is adding into your life, multiplying. They're bringing value. Therefore, the owner's equity, who you are, grows. It expands. Because that person is pouring into you. Your cups are being filled. You are filling their cups. Therefore, y'all's value, your worth together rises. There's more coming in than going out. You understand what I'm saying? Equal give and take. When you are pouring into someone and they're not pouring back into you, that's a liability. You are drained because you are pouring from an empty cup. And that person don't want to give nothing back. They subtract and they divide. That messes up your value and your worth. It messes it up. It messes it up. That's why you have to pick you, work on you, build yourself up so that you can catch the liability right then and there. Because some of y'all got to cut your losses out here. Take what you can take and move on. Some of y'all are in the red. Get out of it and build yourself back up so that when you meet that man or woman, you can tell if they're going to be an asset or a liability. But it starts with you first. Too many of y'all putting other people and other shit in front of you and you wonder why. There's nothing a relationship expert can tell you when they not in no relationship. Nobody wants to talk about mental health. Nobody wants to talk about trauma. Everybody wants to talk about put a little makeup here, put a little cologne there, say this and say that. Fuck all that. I'm going to leave this quote. As Captain Planet told the Planeteers at the end of every episode, the power is yours. And that's what I leave y'all with. The power is yours. And I'm out.